If you have a shit game and you need a helping hand, cross the Dell and ring the bell, he'll understand. Don't worry, cause here's Caddicarus, the nastiest of pus, that is Caddicarus. Caddykins, a spiteful little shit. Nobody likes him, he will make you spit.
I think I just found myself my new favourite video game company. I'm so utterly, wholeheartedly sorry.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful. I don't care anymore. I don't. I mean, just look at this. I mean, Dalmatians 3? Where's Dalmatians 1 and 2?
I mean, for fuck's sake, every so often you come across something and you just think, why? This game is a fucking enigma, you know, it just raises one too many unsettling questions. As you can see, it's obviously based off of Disney's 101 Dalmatians franchise, but it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, Disney in recent years have been known to make some unspeakable garbage, and luckily enough for their skinny little necks, Disney's name isn't anywhere on this. But then that just raises even more questions.
So then I decided to do some research into the company of whoever made this wretched piece of shit. And on my travels, I found some questionable things.
The company is known as Pheonix Games, and good luck if you can find any scrappling of information on the entire internet about them. All that I managed to do was Google image the company, and then I found these. Who can forget those classic games on the PS2 next to Shadow of the Colossus and Sly Cooper 2, such as White Van Racer? No? Not ringing any bells? Okay, well how about Animal Soccer World? Still nothing? Well, how about Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys? I have nothing to say. Do you even know what to say? Because I sure don't. Okay, well maybe you know this one. It's an absolute classic, Street Warrior. Sweet Mother and Mary's illicit God!
I think that Pheonix Games takes that blood-soaked cake by 1,000-fold, and it takes it to the deepest fathoms of hell and back again for eternal damnation on the surface amongst us consumer mortals that actually paid money for this malodorous tripe.
This isn't really a game, so to speak, and more just a shitty collection of shitty minigames that don't even need to be made for a fucking PS2 disc. And these include a functioning painting game that gives us rather horrifying results, but it does look worse than Mario Paint, and for the PS2, that's fucking inexcusable. Then we have a puzzle game that has pieces that are exactly the same shape as one another. The solution is right there for you to copy blatantly, and every time you place a piece down, you hear the sound of Satan throwing up. And also, it's a little bit bloody disorientating because of the fact that there's a constant background image underneath the picture that you're trying to fucking solve. Then there's this game. I don't even have a clue. Then there's this card matching game. It's boring and pointless, trust me. And then finally there's a Lord, I fucking hate these. But the worst thing about this is, and I'm not even joking here, that these simple as shit minigames with no music and no animation and no graphics feel as though they need to spend up to a minute just loading. Yes! And for me, when it did decide to load a part of the disc, it actually nearly made my PS2 bloomin' explode. What's that? You don't believe me? Well, watch this then.
Okay, there's the title oh. Good fucking God! We're not even joking, it's like... I mean, how long have we been sitting it every time it loads? Every time it loads, and how long, see, look how long it takes to load the language selector! And it's still making that noise! Come on, pick it. Look. I feel like it's gonna set fire to the whole house. I'm so scared and...
I just don't want to do it anymore.
But this is not the main event that we're going to be seeing tonight, for there is actually a bigger aspect to this game. One which is the dominant segment that consists of most of this disc here. And is this bit of the game worth any sort of remote little look? Well, grab some popcorn, sit back, and find out. I'm serious. Grab some popcorn. I'm not joking, you're gonna need it. Begin.
Where are you going, Lucy? Don't you want to play?
I do, but I'm hungry. I'll be right back.
Oh no!
I mean, where do I even start with this? I have no idea. At all. Do you have an idea? Because I bloody don't. I mean, did you even fucking hear this voice acting?
You get lost, Charlie, or something nasty will happen.
Oh, stop it, Charlie. Can't you see that Lucy's not in a bad way?
Don't you want to check if it's really in its hole?
Is there something not in order? Cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby. You sprinkled pepper on the cake. You nasty tomcat, you.
This is a new level of awful. I'm serious. How does no one ever even talk about this game when it comes to awful video game voice acting? I guess we'll never know that, but what I do think that you'd like to know is, instead, the story. These are dogs, and this is a cat. The cat plays pranks on dogs, and then it runs away like this.
I'm not sure I can keep through with this. This game is going to be the death of me.
And then all of a sudden there's a narrator to the story in the form of a crow, I think. And it basically just sums up everything that I just explained.
He belonged to Pino's, Sasha's, and Lucy's owner's neighbor.
Okay, already I don't even give a shit. The plot has failed to engage me.
And is it a girl? A guy? I see no dick or tits and the voice is kind of indistinguishable, so I don't know.
Owner's neighbor. The neighbor and the old lady who owned them.
Wait! What? Am I going mad? Is it just me, or was there, pray tell, a shot of a rabbit just then having a fucking seizure, making no noise for like a split second? I mean, what the hell is even going on? Well, plot-wise, as far as I can fathom at least, the cat's a bastard, the dogs are fed up, and so they want to play a trick on the cat to
Get revenge.
And the final straw that broke the camel's back with this was the day that the cat sprinkled pepper on a dog cake that he gave them.
Cake. An A1 doggy cake.
Excuse me, sir. Those are not a singular whole cake. No. They are, I think you'll find, in fact, actually, biscuits. I'm now starting to wonder if English was this company's native language because they really ain't convincing me right now. And is it just me, or does the cat sound like a strange cross between Will-O-the-Wisp and X-20 from Stingray?
Well, that all depends. What do you want from me?
Oh, there's a rare sight. It must be something very big.
So anyway, the dogs concoct a plan and the prank goes ahead the next morning as they go off and tell the cat to look under a tree to catch a mouse. I smell something very fishy going on here.
Jesus! You alright there, cat? Your neck kind of stretched out a little bit. No? Yeah? You alright? You good? Okay.
And as it turns out, very much like this scene that we just witnessed here, there are actually no sound effects and the voices are just not there. All throughout this. Some sounds just cease to exist. They're missing everywhere, I swear to God. How could this have ever fucking passed testing? Did anyone seriously look at this and think, hey, you know what? This is perfect. The masses will absolutely love this. I'm sure they'll be willing to pay money to see this printed now.
Our old lady has a birthday coming up. A heart like this would be great as a present for her.
I also have a birthday coming up. Me too.
Me too!
I also have a birthday coming up.
Me too!
So do I.
Me too!
However, since this is real life, the dogs actually need
Money.
for the gingerbread, which is kind of understandable, I suppose. But that's pretty funny in itself, because the box actually told me that we were getting cookies. So now the dogs want to swap this fucking junk over here in order to trade for some gingerbread. I'm sure this will go down just swell. And then they set off to town, because dogs do that, and then we see some heavy metal pigs driving past. Before one of the dogs, fucked if I know its name, jumps up to grab some gingerbread. And then the humans happen.
Stop! Stop! Give that back immediately!
The dogs then try explaining to the humans that they weren't stealing the gingerbread, which then lets us to discover that in this universe, these different species can communicate to each other because why not? great. But none of the humans actually care about what the talking dogs have to say, so the police... Okay. Whisk the dogs away to be locked up.
Are you bored yet? No? Okay then.
The Crow then chats up some more bullshit about everything we just saw, and then... Okay, honestly guys, when I watched this travesty, by this point I just figured this was an overly long cutscene that would end very soon so that the proper game could begin. But no, I couldn't be any more wrong. It just kept going and going and going, getting gradually worse every goddamn second. I know none of the names of these animals. Random characters appear and vanish in and out of scenes at complete random. None of the audio is even remotely synced to what you're seeing. The voice acting sounds like it was performed by one fucking arsehole that didn't even know what a dictionary was, and the animation is... well, there isn't any! When it comes to gaming, everybody says that the Zelda CDI games were the worst for animating and voice acting, but no! This word needs to be spread loud and clear. This is the ultimate of gaming lows, and I will have nobody tell me otherwise.
And yes, okay, I can envision all of you at home right now thinking about typing, oh yes, but Caddy, you deliberately picked out a game that's clearly designed for children, so why are you even complaining? Yes, well, you know what? That's no excuse at all. There still needs to be some sort of quality control with these things. I mean, yes, kids may be very easy to entertain, but they are not stupid, and this is just insulting.
But for a company to slap together loads of shitty minigames with no music that could easily be done at home without any fucking electricity, and then add in the worst cartoon anyone has ever laid eyes on, and then slap on Disney characters on the box to trick parents into buying it, makes me think that this company is actually hell incarnate into a game company. And as for this cartoon, take a guess how long it goes on for. Go on, take a guess. I'll wait. Oh, come on, keep on guessing. I'm sure you can... 45 minutes! 45! And it just gets worse and worse. Just like leaving cheese on the kitchen side for a few days. You just don't do it, you know?
Because it stinks.
And all in all, this entire package as a whole literally makes me...
shiver with fear.
So anyway, we get some more bullshit with 1994 laptop computers before heading briskly off to the pound to save those idiots from earlier. And this is when we meet the main antagonist, some random guard dog.
Two new ones. Oh, well, welcome to the dog pound, Castor and Pollux.
Oh, God, no!
And so, this dog... two dogs? What? Introduce us to our new doggy friends in the pound. What the fuck? But then it turns out that we actually recognize these dogs and then...
Silence!
Okay. Unfortunately though, nothing interesting at all happens in this bit, however. Well, you know, apart from more of the horrendous voices.
I was also there. I had,
Yes, that's the way it was.
And also, there's a random sheepdog here that never appears in the story ever again. He just sits there for one scene and he's kind of creeping me out. Hey up, I think I shouldn't have had those naughty special candies at the disco.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
And it also seems like that those idiot dogs that got caught earlier are now undergoing slave labor? And then the Crow returns again to explain even more shit.
Rimmel and Tufflechin would have to hurry if they wanted to help those two.
Are you finished? Right.
And this is where I officially lost all fucking caring. I realized it wasn't going to end anytime soon. It's one of those rare instances in a game where the novelty of how awful everything is actually gets really tiresome and unfunny pretty shortly. I mean, how is this even made with a PS2 disc? Just imagine how much free space there was on that disc when this was finished. Not only are the minigames that make up every bit of the gameplay completely worthless even for mid-90s gaming standards, but look at the movie itself. It actually looks worse than pre-PS1 FMV from systems like the Sega CD. It just blows my mind. All I wanted was for this to just end, but instead I was stuck in here with all these stupid dogs that always talk about how they like to...
Throttle that Pollux.
I'm sorry. Excuse me?
Throttle that Pollux.
Could you please say that again?
Throttle that Pollux.
You better watch your mouth, young man. This is a kid's game.
It better look like it was licked clean. Your mother was very good at that.
Okay, that about wraps it up. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, fine. Keep fucking going.
So our titular character gets oh so close to rescuing some of the idiot dogs when all of a sudden... What the actual hell is even going on right now? And then after some more series of nonsensical and unexplained events, the Crow needs to steal a code for the security system installed in the pound.
And that's supposed to be a secret code. It's just a simple mathematics.
Yes, you're right. Of course. The code is just a simple mathematics. How could someone actually allow this to be sold on the shelf? And before anybody asks, yes, this is a Sony licensed product, and may I remind you as well, it was made for the PlayStation 2. Look at this, it was made for the PS2 in 2003. They allowed this to go through. Money went into this. Look at it! And you know what? The box lied to me yet again. Where's this bitch? Well, this bitch. Oh, this dog over here. Well, guess what? All of these characters on the front of the fucking box never appear. Ever. Anywhere on this disc. Why would you go through the effort of ripping off Disney-specific characters from Disney-specific movies and then somehow materialize a confusing fucking title that tries to tie itself into the franchise, but instead makes no sense anywhere in any universe, and then actually never have the game even vaguely relate to the cover? I don't understand it. I waited in vain for these fucking boxed characters to show up, and after the worst 45 minutes I've ever had to sit through, nothing. And saying that as well, Dalmatians 3? Why is it even called this? Where are the Dalmatians? There are 3 of them in the whole game. 3! How did they think that they could get away with this? Dalmatians 3? They should have called it 3 Dalmatians. Although I can safely say that the cartoon does have some epic chase scene music. And trust me, it becomes even more epic when you have this lovely image pushed into your face.
Okay, guys, before I carry on, I have to apologise. I must apologise. Because for the next 20-odd fucking minutes of this shit, it's exactly the same stuff. I can comment on absolutely nothing else. It's all the same shit. This game has officially sucked me dry. And so, after much deliberation, I decided that from this bit onwards, I was just going to play, back to back, all of my favourite quotes from this awful travesty piece of shit of a video game, just so that you get a better idea on how hilariously awful it is. Yep, I know, they'll be out of context, but even when they're in context, they make equal fucking sense. So you know what, I don't even care. Sit back, please, and enjoy.
At the market? Tüpfelchen, oh Tüpfelchen. Oh, I think she's in trouble. I'm sure she went to find Toby and Timmy. Well, would you believe it? That was pretty fast. Where are Butch and Tüpfelchen?
Once I decided to get involved, I was consistent.
But he disappeared weeks ago.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear every word. Sleep.
I know. I think I know something.
Leave them alone, Pollux.
What's the screaming about? What's going on here?
We'll come up with something. I just have. Yeah, I've just thought of something.
They aren't burglars. Let them go immediately or else. Oh, goody.
I needed to take a pee, and I didn't quite make it to the courtyard.
That policeman, he will be as mad as hell. Why, that was close.
And do you want to know the ending line to this kid's cartoon? The closing sentence to this epic 45-minute movie? The final words spoken by these utterly beloved characters? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you...
The contents of a liver sausage will always be a mystery.
Huh?
This game gets slaughtered. I mean, Jesus Christ on a bicycle. I could never even have imagined how bad this game would be. I mean, at the time, Coronation Street and the Mystery of the Missing Hot Pot Recipe was indeed the worst game I've ever played in my life. But that down there, it's not even in the same fucking ballpark. This is the worst thing I've ever even seen, let alone played. But honestly, to critique this as a game, it means that I actually have to talk about the gameplay segments, and where all the minigame sections of this game are just terrible, the cartoon segment of this disc is just so bad, so atrocious, so fucking abysmal that it's just great. For all of you sadists out there that can sit through 45 minutes of one of the worst cartoons you've ever seen in your life and enjoy it with a couple of friends, it's right up your street. I would recommend this to hell and back. Seriously guys, search this game up on YouTube or buy it for yourself. It'll be really cheap in some sort of dumpster somewhere, and you will not regret any second of it. Please trust me. And so, to sum up, this game is worse than Zelda CDI and Birdemic. Oh, and after one playthrough of this game, the disc got so hot that it wouldn't actually load again afterwards. That's all. Yeah, this is like that creepypasta about that fake game, Kill Switch. You know, the one that once you've beaten it once, it just erases all traces of itself so that you can never play it again, and that no one ever knows it even existed? Yeah, that's this game, but in real life. I've got nothing else to say. Fuck this game.
Previously on the Caddicarus show. Now here's part 2.
Oh no, 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 no! Daz! You complete and utter bastard! Why did you give me this? Didn't you hear me in my Dalmatians 3 video?
I have nothing to say. Do you even know what to say? Because I sure don't.
Yeah, that's it. And I still have nothing to say! Arf! No, no. I'm not doing this. No, 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 no.
James, what's the problem?
I'm trying to forget that this game exists.
What game?
Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys.
What? That doesn't sound too bad. Oh my, this game really is the apple of your eye, isn't it?
You know what? That joke was terrible. And because of that, I'm gonna hit you again.
Oh, come on, that doesn't even make any sense.
Go on then, read the back.
Snow White lives deep in the perfect forest, live with 7 clever boys who... No.
The Queen and the Pope with the toad. Respect.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Caddicarus show, where I always have to do the dirty deed of deciding whether or not a game deserves to be slaughtered or salvaged. And I gotta say, guys, after the absolute atrocity that was cheesy, I feel like playing a good game today to balance it all out. But what to play though? There is too much good stuff here, and honestly, there's just so much to pick from, I can't be fucked to go through any of it. I wish life was easier, you know.
I'm wishing for a decent game to find me today.
Well, I suppose I'll talk about this. Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys, which is easily a contender for best fake title to avoid legal conflict with Disney since changing the letters of the Lion King around and adding "and" into it to make Lion and the King. But for this, I don't quite understand. I mean, Snow White is a grim fairy tale. Why deliberately steal the likeness exactly of what Disney's interpretation was? You could have easily not done that and just called the game the correct fucking name, but no. Let's trick the kids into thinking this is Disney and risk selling more copies for the sake of being sued. Equally though, if Disney were to sue Pheonix Games for this, which I would love to see for sure, if they want to proudly step forward in court and say that they own these images, they're braver than I am.
Yes, sir, we own Dead-Skinned Barbie. We own Old Sharp-Toothed Succubus Bint. We also own Toothless Gape-Mouthed Soul-Sucking Dwarf.
Also, I'm gonna leave this image here for a while and we'll just say, when you see it, you'll shit bricks. I'll give you a second to see what it is. Okay, that's enough time. Hands up if you saw this. There is so much wrong with this box art that I'm not even joking, it's more interesting to talk about than the actual game itself. After the horrendous shit I had to deal with in Dalmatians 3, you'd think that Pheonix Games would have improved their craft, or at least gave you more content for a PS2 game, but no. You get all of the exact same shitty minigames from Dalmatians, including jigsaws and matching, with the only difference here being that there's a voice whenever you highlight anything. But the main feature of this game is not a campaign game of any sort. Not a multiplayer game of any sort, not even a long length's worth of a cartoon. No, instead you get a 6-minute animation. Yes, 6 minutes of the most stripped down and pointless and awful rendition of Snow White you'll ever see in your life. I mean, I know that Dalmatians 3 gargled pus, but at least that was 45 minutes long, not 6. Even the mouse cursor fucking hates being in this disaster of a game.
So let's do it. Bring it on, Pheonix Games. My greatest adversary.
Near the 7th town across the 7th river, there was a beautiful forest.
So the narrator fills us in on what's going on.
It was wonderful, all because the forest was kept perfectly in order by 7 clever and thoughtful young boys.
Great, this makes sense so far.
And here they are. First, there was Cubby, who was like a small bear.
Best introduction ever.
And then there was Big Basil, who was huge. Well, for a boy, he was huge.
Oh my god, this narrator is going to hell. Where I'll be waiting for him.
And then Sonny, who took care of the plants and the animals.
I can't believe Sony okayed this. Are you seeing this? Sony gave this the thumbs up in 2007. Yeah, you heard me. 2007. That is when this game came out. Sony okayed this racist shit in 2007. Oh my god.
And Jacob, who was in charge of keeping order in the forest. Then Michael, who cared for the flowers. And then the professor, who was the most intelligent. And then the 7th boy, Joseph Jr.
And Joseph Jr. had nothing redeeming about his personality whatsoever, hence we didn't talk about him at all or assign him to any role. He just sat around with his thumb up his arse hoping for his daddy, Joseph Sr., to do his work.
So there you go, that's the intro you're given. It makes sense so far, I suppose, and honestly, the quality far surpasses that of Dalmatians 3 already from presentation and sound alone. Sure, it's written dreadfully, and this is a thing, but it's tolerable at least. Well, until the clever boys, who are so clever that they can't live without each other in their own houses, noticed that their house was broken into.
How could that be? Who could it be? Oh, there's a funny face on the chimney.
Oh my pants, what is that?
What is going on?
Wait, what? What? No, I'm with the narrator here. What's going on? Why did the chimney have a face and arms? Why was he blocking the only method for the smoke to escape? Why isn't this girl choking from the backed up fumes caused by this thing? Why did the narrator cut out far too early? Why do none of the characters here resemble the cover in any way, shape or form? Which is hilarious, seeing as though if you just use the fucking characters within the game on the front of the box, you wouldn't have any trouble with Disney whatsoever. Why is this bitch moving around like she needs oiling? Why is this video cropped so badly that there's this unbelievably irritated gap on each side of the brain? Just zoom it in a little bit for fuck's sake! Out of nowhere, we come to a song. Yes, a song. Appreciate the higher effort here over Dalmatians, but it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It adds nothing. It answers nothing. It drags on for far too long. It literally makes the mouse cursor yawn because of how boring it is. And this intro line, my god, it's perfect.
This is my song, I'll sing it now.
Anyway, this part of the game is what I like to call the jealous song. And do you know why that is? Because she says that word too much.
Jealous, 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 jealous.
She's talking about an evil queen, apparently, but what she's jealous of exactly? I don't know. The song never says. To be fair, the song also expects me to believe that the clever boys are now slime hybrids. The fact that they just join in with the song despite not knowing who this person is or what she's singing. The fact that they have access to fully functioning disco lights and mics in the time of Snow White. And the fact that the token racist character is now designated to popping away on the saxophone. But hey, at least this game does have something better than Dalmatians 3. Interactivity. Yeah, I can actually move this mouse. And I can use it to make a remix of this just classic masterpiece of a song.
She has chased me, hunted me.
Back to menu.
Alone and crying in forests so dark.
Back to menu.
I know that you really care.
Back to menu.
Let me say how lives we can share.
Back to menu.
Anyway, according to the narrator about 5 hours later, that was in fact Snow White. You know, the girl from the cover. I mean, I'm glad I don't get to see this, but at least be bloomin' consistent, you bags. Snow White might as well be called Ho Shite from the way she looks here.
Yes. Ho Shite. Ho Shite and the 7 naughty toys. Oh my. Oh my, wow.
So, Snow White came to stay with the 7 boys. Of course she did. And the boys promised they would look after her and keep her safe from the evil queen.
Okay, assuming that I know nothing about the story of Snow White, which I'm not going to go over right now because this show isn't fucking Jack and Ori, where did Snow White come from? Why does she need looking after? Why did it take one song that explained absolutely nothing to persuade the boys to let her stay with them? Doesn't matter. This guy skates on water like a radical Jesus.
Water to wine, he's a drink exchanger. And he died for your sins.
Their work hardly seemed like work at all. It was more fun than work. They were such good boys, weren't they?
Dude, please, don't say that in the way that you did. I feel unclean. Anyway, the story that is as well knit as this net right here continues out of nowhere because the evil queen we've heard about then disguises herself as an
ugly old hag,
and she made Snow White perform the infamous ritual of the story where she bites into a poisoned apple, and that very same apple is now starting to bleed. Oh my god!
Ah! No, 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 no.
So yes, Snow White is now unconscious, and the clever boys that are so clever that they don't know how to counteract the poison are rather sad about it.
no more Snow White to meet them and smile her lovely smile at them or sing her lovely songs. Never, ever, ever again.
Oh yes, no more songs. The one song. The one song she sang. Before she even met them. Which explained nothing. Bugging me backwards, I'm heartbroken.
But suddenly, something happened. There in the distance, a cloud of dust.
Oh my god, yes, wow. Did you hear that, Portal Turret?
Did he say what I thought he said?
Yes, I think he did.
Holy fucking shit, a cloud of dust is coming to save the day.
I know, right?
My fucking fuck god, I could literally piss myself with excitement.
Too far. Too far.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Yeah, watch out, the cloud of dust comes to save the day, which turns out to be a boy on a bicycle, which turns out to be Prince Charming. Oh, of course it was. How could I not notice that that was Prince Charming? I could tell it was him from all this distance from his big, throbbing Adam's apple. No, in all seriousness, I don't get it. Do you get it? I don't. Nobody does. Who fucking cares?
Hooray!
Then everybody dances around a fire and then we end with this.
The 7 clever boys and Snow White and Prince Charming all lived happily ever after, and even after that.
Seriously though, this is it? May I remind you that this is a PS2 game, released in 2007, the same year that Shadow of Chernobyl, Portal, Super Mario Galaxy, Uncharted, God of War 2, Skate, Tools of Destruction, Colin McRae, Dirt Rock Band, and Zelda Phantom Hourglass came out! Also, fuck you, I love this game, alright? Oh, even if you don't like Phantom Hourglass, it's still better than this!
I like my rails, thank you.
I thought the 45-minute anguish in Dalmatians 3 was bad enough, but there Pheonix Games are sitting on their pile of money, making a game that is less than a cutscene's worth of a cartoon, and a bad cartoon at that. Yeah, most cutscenes in games don't even last fucking 6 minutes. They keep going on, and here these people are selling you a single cutscene. That's it!
As the story ended, I sat there in desperation, hoping for something else to pop up. A choice to make. Another chapter in the story. Hell, at least anything similar to the length of Dalmatians 3. But nope. For the 4.7 gigabytes PS2 discs could hold in 2007, the entirety of this game only used about 300 megabytes. That's about 6.4% of the entire disc being used here, and 6.4% of effort used by Pheonix Games when they created this Lovecraftian abomination. Even though the actual animation itself is of much higher quality than Dalmatians 3, this is easily the worst PS2 game out there because of the complete lack of absolutely anything. For the time that it came out, the lack of quality control, caring to improve at all from Pheonix Games, blatantly horrendous copy and pasting, no difference in minigames, the fact that it's officially licensed by Sony and that it costs money and just—
This game gets slaughtered. Fuck you, I'm going to bed and I'm going to die.
For a decent game to find me.
That was awesome. Oh my god. My dad, cut that.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Caddicarus show, where I always have to do the dirty deed of deciding whether or not a game deserves to be slaughtered or salvaged. I'm afraid to say, guys, though, you kind of caught me at an awkward time. I was kind of busy writing some poetry. How delightfully embarrassing. So if you don't mind, I think I'll just carry on with that. Roses are red, violets are blue.
I know where you live, and I'm watching you.
Oh god!
What? Have you never seen a floating, deformed cartoon head before?
Honestly, no.
Well, I'm here now, so get used to it.
Wait a second, are you the guy that hates everything?
Wow, how could you guess? It's my chin, isn't it? It's a pretty hateful chin.
No, actually, because you interrupted my beautiful contemporary poetry. You must really hate Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day was literally over a month ago. What are you even talking about? I hate it enough when it's actually happening, but you're making me hate it even more now when it isn't even the correct date, you fucking asshole.
Cool, okay, calm down, man. Jeez. You need to butter your turnips. Look, how about we just play a lovely game together and forget that any of this ever happened?
No, I hate games. Fuck you.
Okay, well now I'm starting to see why YouTube didn't want you on their own website anymore.
Okay then, low blow. I was just joking. You dick. Yeah, I actually like games. Games are alright. I would love to play something with you and forget that this ever happened. We can be good old buddies, if you take back what you said about YouTube.
I can do that, yeah, but only if you promise to play something with me, no matter what it is.
Yes, okay, I promise.
You promise? Little button nose?
Yes, I promise.
Like, even if I throw the worst possible game in the world at you, you need to float there and play it with me.
Yes, come on already, Jesus!
Excellent, so it's settled then. We're going to be playing Peter Pan by Pheonix Games on PS2. Happy fucking Valentine's Day.
Ah, shit.
And so here we are yet again, Pheonix Games. I can't seem to rid you from my intestines, can I?
Oh god, please no. I changed my mind. You can keep that comment about YouTube. Just please don't make me play this.
Oh, IHE, I'd love to abide to your wishes, but you did promise you'd play this with me.
But I know plenty about Pheonix Games already, and I know enough about them for me to get out of this while I still can. You cannot make me play all those damn mini-games at the exact same mini-games they always are in every fucking single solitary Pheonix game. Color this in, match up this, slide this tile. Why don't you piece together this crapping jigsaw? I'm not doing this.
Okay, yeah, they are fair enough points. However, when I said play this game with me, I didn't mean the mini-games. You're entirely correct. They are the same. Unimproved, unchanged, unaltered, undefeated heavyweight champion for over 10 years, and unacceptable with how they've now got away with the same poorly implemented and badly designed shit from Dalmatians 3 and Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys. But playing them just wouldn't be fun at all. It would be pointless. There's nothing here to say other than I'm gobsmacked Sony still licensed these with a shiny quality stricken stamp. So instead, IHG, we're gonna be sitting down together and checking out the one unique trait, the one redeeming bit of sponge in this out-of-date sticky toffee pudding, the cartoon.
Okay, seriously, I don't even know which one is worse now.
Oh, come on, I'm fed up of ripping Pheonix Games a new shit tube on my own. You can help me out now.
Alright, fine. Where do we begin then?
I would like to tell you the most beautiful story of my childhood.
You have got to be shitting me. Was that the developer's commentary, or was that actually part of the movie?
The Adventures of Peter Pan.
Oh no. That is seriously our narrator, isn't it?
Oh, fuck me. This is gonna be fun.
You know, I'm really glad we're going to the ball. I've heard that the famous scientist had also been invited. Yes, that's what they say.
Okay, honest to God, swear on my mother's life, I cannot comment on anything that just happened there.
What you just witnessed was a European accented gentleman narrating an introduction and then providing seamless multiple voice work for both a man and a woman. And the best thing is that you can't tell who's who.
Do you by any chance know what's happened with my tie? No, I don't. Maybe it's in a drawer.
Oh wait, hang up man, I think you're a little bit slow on the prompt reading there. They've already gone, and he didn't even find his tie. I hope you're happy. You've ruined the story already, we're not even a minute into it yet.
So anyway, out of absolutely nowhere, our quote-unquote hero of the story emerges. Peter Pan decides to
creep up to their window and sit down on the sill.
For literally no reason at all. And then this happens.
Gee, Peter, you really exist.
Hello? Hello? Did Mr. Narrator fall asleep?
There was no...
Aha, no, here we go. Look at how ecstatic everyone is. They're so happy the rocking horse won't stop rocking and the ball won't stop bouncing. Oh, joyous day, Kaluka fucking lay.
There was no end to the great joy.
Are you actually shitting me? Caddy, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know, man. Don't ask me.
Were the animators actually making this film at the same time the narrator was speaking and they were just waiting for his next cue in order to carry on?
I don't know. I mean, with this horrid animation quality, you wouldn't be blamed for thinking that.
Oh my god, we're still waiting. Help!
Oh, thank the heavens above, we're moving. What's on your mind then, Lady Death?
Look, Peter!
Flawless little girl voice acting there, matey.
You've left your shadow in Tinkerbell outside the window.
This is wrong on so many levels.
Outside the window.
Caddy, can we please stop watching this? I can't do this. Oh.
My shadow is very stubborn and keeps running away all the time.
But wait, you just said you were sorry for leaving him locked outside. I've never watched anything so heinous that within under 3 minutes, literally every single line either doesn't work, doesn't make sense, or contradicts a line a few seconds before it. Were they making this up as they went along?
I don't know, but at least the characters don't all look like the Shadow here. And hey, they're following the base story, I guess. I mean, look, the girl is sewing Peter's shadow onto him. This is good, right?
You mean Wendy?
Well, Pheonix Games assumes that I know the story of Peter Pan inside out because they literally don't tell you anything, so no, she is just girl.
Oh, right. How did they get this wrong?
I don't know.
Wait, why are we whispering?
Because Pheonix Games don't deserve my regular speaking volume.
Either way, Peter then decides to make the kids fly immediately. No reason, no point, I'm lost. And I'm a boy. A lost boy.
Give it a go. Up you go.
Whoa, he's off. I'm with the dog on this one. What the hell is this shit?
Oh, I'll tell you, I don't need to learn how to fly. This cartoon has got me pretty high already. You know what I'm saying?
Hooray, how great. Hooray, how great. Full steam ahead.
Well, there's only one thing I can say to that.
Hooray, how great!
And look, the unnamed children are graciously flying above the city of London. Let's go and sit on Big Ben, why don't we? Peter then says to everyone that London sucks and that Neverland is the next place to go for true adventure.
It feels so great.
What does? So off they go to Neverland. About damn time. We've been watching this thing for like 4 minutes.
Look, flamingos. How beautiful. They're my friends.
Yeah, they're flamingos. Yes. Yes. You're a movie! Move is in the title of movie because you have to move! Oh, thank God. Oh no, wait. Oh, it's about to talk, isn't it? Let's just take a wild guess on what the voice sounds like.
Hello, Peter.
That's the best bit so far.
So the narrator says,
the flamingos turned out to be great guides.
Despite the fact that Peter said this earlier.
They're my friends.
Yes, of course, you keep telling yourself that. And they eventually arrive at Neverland, where it's so green that they say it twice in the same sentence.
Everybody saw a wonderful green island. How green it is!
And that it's so green because the residents care for the environment and don't destroy what nature gifted them? Is there really going to be environmentally friendly undertones in this? Well, nah, because this is the only time it's ever mentioned. True activists. Oh, and he forgot to mention the pirate ship run by Captain Hook, who loves settling accounts. What?
They're led by Captain Hook, who likes settling accounts.
So wait, he's a stockbroker? Or a banker? Is he the one that Noel Bloody Edmonds calls in Deal or No Deal?
But believe me, he is focusing on those. Hello?
We'll settle accounts yet, Peter. I can handle them. Look, mermaids. They're waving at us. How lovely, they're singing. And now, we're flying to the jungle.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Wendy. They aren't singing. I'm a lying sack of shit. And also, we must make our way to the beautiful jungle where the boys who are lost live. Look, the hole is where they are inside. Let's go and say hello, Peter. Yes, Wendy, let's say hello.
Get up, boys. Hello. Get up, you sleepyheads. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Peter.
And it's at this point the cartoon literally shits itself. I'm not even joking. You ask me what's going on, I won't be able to tell you. Everything happens instantaneously for no reason and with no distinct voices, no change of narrator to in-film dialogue, and no animation to go properly with them. You'll have no idea who is talking, why they are talking, who they're talking to, and you fucking tell me how they get to the scenes with Tiger Lily later. You bloody explain it to me because I don't know.
Who have you brought? That evening, Mum and Dad were getting ready for a great ball, and they were having a little argument about which shirt would match the suit better. Dad thought that the white one... Who is Mum? Mum is the greatest person in the whole world. Peter! Peter! Can you hear? It's Tiger Lily. She's calling for our help. We have to find her.
Just make sure that if you ever play a drinking game while watching Pheonix Games as Peter Pan, please don't ever take a drink whenever something in the story happens that makes sense,
Because you won't get drank!
Oh my god, and you know something? I just realised. He's an alien, and the narrator must be an alien as well. The fact he was paid actual real-life money to perform like he's talking in his sleep is quite the staple on what's wrong with modern society. How could you say any of these lines and sound like you could give less of a shit? It's not possible, I'm telling you.
Tiger Lily, tell us immediately where Peter Pan's hideaway is.
And so because of reasons, Peter shows up to wreck the party, and he brings some fighting words with him.
I demand that you immediately release Tiger Lily. Otherwise, wasn't I right?
Right about what?
I challenge you to a fight.
But he's already fighting you.
Don't question Pheonix Games' logic, man. It isn't worth it. Look, he came here to save Tiger Lily, and there she is drowning. The details don't matter here.
Captain, a hungry crocodile. Help! I taste really bad.
Okay, yep. I finally got mad.
Hooray! Hooray! We've won!
My god. How did they look at that and go, yeah, you earned your paychecks, everybody, that's good, let's go home. Does it maybe need, oh, I don't know, noises when the people's mouths are moving? Yeah. Oh, how about then, if you're not gonna put noises there, why don't we just cut it out and go to the next scene?
Oh no, everyone has to go home? What a shame. I was beginning to love these guys.
I hope you'll visit us sometime.
Holy fuck, no, ugh. I never want to see that face staring at me through that tall grass ever again. Okay, so let's just get this over with. In a really cutesy and pukey metaphor, the kids all say that they won't be saying goodbye really because they read about Peter's books every night and all the adventures he has.
We read about your adventures. You come to us every night.
Wow, baby, that's some insightful contribution there. True words from the gods. Symbolic and resonant of a decaying era. Pheonix Games could actually learn a lot from this baby. In the sense of shutting the fuck up and doing nothing. You shouldn't do things. Stop doing them. You can't do the things. You are useless. And what is that supposed to be there? Is that the moon? Wait, no, that's the planet Earth. No, yeah, look, it is. Look, isn't that Africa or something? They're in space, so Peter is an alien. I knew it all along. Jesus Christ, it makes too much sense. This is the biggest FU to the Peter Pan story I think I've ever seen.
Oh, come on, don't be so harsh. Look, they even have a final moral for the kids watching at home. Let's listen in.
As you know, all's well that ends well. However, if you don't forget about your dreams, your favorite story characters will surely come back to you.
Well, fuck it in a bucket.
Yeah, kids, you want your favorite book characters to come visit you? Just believe hard enough, and soon they'll become a ring of Saturn around planet Earth and consume your ripe souls for brunch.
I promise you, we did not skimp out on any footage here. You saw the entirety of this cartoon, the way it was scripted, structured, the plot elements that arrive only to vanish seconds later, trying to cover every tiny detail of the story in one scene for the sake of it, neglecting to go into any more depth or link the narrative in any way. I mean, sure, I edited all of this into bits and pieces, but the pauses, the voice acting, the farts in the animation that caused silences, it was all here, and it was dreadful from start to end.
Peter Pan, though, does absolutely nothing. The animation is garbage, the voice work isn't even categorically voice work. The story isn't there since things happen at random for no reason. There's no drive, no conflict, no resolution, pointless statements, and it's just so abrupt that it feels like the whole thing was literally farted into existence. Along with all the recycled minigames that were all farted out in the first place, so it's pretty much a big fart of a fart. And if you take away all the awkward pauses and silences, the cartoon will probably not even cut to a similar length to Snow White anyway, so it's just a total waste of time. But I have to be honest, a very entertaining one.
Yes, IHE, I must agree with you there. The comedy and entertainment value from this short in particular, mostly due to the narrator, is what made me want to rewatch this over and over again while making this video. It's so damn awful that it's actually brilliant. But it still gets the slaughter though.
That being said though, I still kind of feel bad for making you sit through this with me, IHE.
Don't worry about it. I was a big old smelly ass hair earlier, and I apologise.
Well, I retract my YouTube comment, so we're all good.
Brilliant. I might actually, not hate you. You're good.
Oh my god, wow. Are you serious? Jeez, you know, that's a huge honour coming from you. Thanks, man. That's very sweet of you.
Not at all. You earned it, kiddo.
Hey. Here's an idea. Let's solidify this bond once and for all by all going on a lovely friend outing.
Okay, what kind of friend outing are you talking about?
Let's burn some fucking minions.
I love you. What are you even talking about? Sorry.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful people, and welcome to the Caddicarus show, where I always have to damn it!
Every single fucking solitary... I love recording audio. Fuck.
Have you ever tried fake laughing? It is so fucking difficult. I just gotta think of the seed and see if I can make it... No, that's not working.
The exact same mini games as they always are in every fucking single solitary Pheonix game. So close. So fucking close.
I didn't realise they'd be so flammable. Why are they kids' toys? Oh.
Is he the one that Noel Bloody Edmonds calls and Neil... Neil or no Neil?
Anyway, enough of me rambling and on with the video.
Greetings and salutations, my beautiful Pheonix games are back and I wanna die!
So, was Dalmatians 3, Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys and Peter fucking Pancreas enough of a fun, funny, fanny time for you all? I bloody well hope so, because we have yet another perfect Pheonix game cartoon adaptation of a classic fairy tale on PS2 with another completely innocent, entirely coincidental front cover that looks a little bit like Disney, but I don't think anyone will notice.
I mean, what else can I say about any of this? If you've been following my channel for years, then you already know about Pheonix games and the shite that they've shat, and if you've never been on my channel before and this is your first video, well, just look at this box. This is real. This is a PS2 game. Officially licensed by Sony. Human beings looked at this and said, yes, this is fine. And now we're going to take a look at it and see if it's any better than any of the other PS2 Pheonix games I've talked about before.
Part 1! It's a game, really? Here's the thing, with the previous Pheonix games, they had cartoons put onto the disc, absolutely, but they were indeed games, which means that they all did the bare minimum to get past the Sony gameplay inspectors to justify being on the PS2 in the first place. And what semblance of gameplay was included onto these packages? All the same, copy-paste, donkey-spleening baby minigames that you can play in real life from a box of toys. Jigsaws, slide puzzles, matching tiles, painting, and not a single game from these that I've seen had something remotely different on them in terms of gameplay content. They all did the same thing. And Pinocchio is no different, except the fact that in the matching tiles game, you hear this every time you go wrong. Because that never gets annoying. The sliding tiles game has been replaced with a ridiculously easy swapping and flipping game with a video clip, and the painting minigame freezes the second you start it up before doing this and then crashing. I've got to be honest though, fair play to Pheonix Games, they did manage to redo some of Disney's tunes from their own Pinocchio movie and recreate them in this game. Do you remember this classic, for instance?
I'm not gonna make it.
Well, how do you think I feel, real Disney Pinocchio? I feel just as bad, but I have to sit through an entire cartoon. You can just go whenever you want.
Oh, I guess I'm okay.
Well, fuck off then, I don't need you anyway. Part 2, it's a movie, I think. As we've learned from before, Pheonix Games love to rip off Disney for their covers, but never follow up with their promise of a knockoff Disney cartoon itself. And as soon as this thing begins, it's no different. Not what I was promised whatsoever.
I mean, now that we've started, it's obvious this isn't going to rip off the Disney film. I mean, look at it, it doesn't seem to give any shits at all. So maybe instead it's actually going to stick closer to the original story by Carlo Collodi that Disney dramatically changed. You know. The one where Pinocchio gets Geppetto in prison for child abuse, Jiminy Cricket gets killed by Pinocchio with a wooden hammer, Pinocchio then gets captured by a bandit fox and cat but escapes after biting off the cat's paw, then he gets locked up for being an idiot and then actually fully turns into a donkey before being threatened to be skinned and made into a drum. You think maybe they'll stick closer to that story? Well, you don't believe me? Look it up. Pinocchio's fucked up.
And I regret to tell you that no, we do not get any of that, but instead we open to a sweet little boy who changes colours every time he breathes, random portraits of bearded freaks on the walls, and a sentence that makes no sense.
When the dark of night falls and children drift off to sleep in their beds, they dream of magical things and lovely stories. This is one such story. It's for every child, even naughty ones. Because we grown-ups know that all children are sweet little angels when they are sleeping.
Wait, so this is a story for good kids and even bad kids, because kids are good when they're all sleeping? I don't think English was the native language of this game. We also get these singing toys.
Wake Pinocchio, wake up, it's time to tell your story. Come on, wake up, They'll be children of your adventures.
Okay, wait, what did you just say?
They'll be children of your adventures.
They'll be children on your adventures? Oh, and that perks him up. We're already 30 seconds into this cartoon and I feel fucking sick.
Okay, girls and boys.
Excuse me. Can we please have that again?
Okay, girls and boys.
Oh, that is... No joke, that is the single greatest introduction to a character in any film I've ever seen in my life. Can we watch it back one more time, but slightly slower?
Okay, girls and boys.
I can watch that all day.
So after whatever the fuck that was, Pinocchio starts reading off a poem, kicking us off into the story.
I was born one special day, made of wood, to my dismay. Geppetto's clever hands, it said, made my body, legs and head.
Geppetto then had a nasty shock when he chipped too low and broke my cock. Okay, girls and boys.
I will whittle up a puppet just for me. It will run and jump, wait and see. Cheer me up when I get old. We'll travel round and search for gold.
Well, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but aren't you already pretty fucking old? And before you can think to yourself, Christ, why did Geppetto carve Pinocchio's nose to the shape of a fucking butcher knife and give him the most evil expression I've ever seen on a living thing? Pinocchio takes his wig clean off and... laughs? I don't actually know what he does, I'm not actually sure. Please tell me in the comments what you think happens here because I'm lost.
Oh, bravo. Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
And before you can say, here you little dibble, give my wig back.
Here you little dibble, give my wig back.
Whatever the fuck that means, the singing toys come back to discipline Pinocchio in the worst rhyming I've ever heard in anything ever.
Shame on you, young Pinocchio, not allowed to mock your daddy-o.
I'm honestly surprised that actual people thought everything was okay so far and we aren't even 90 seconds in.
Come to me, my son of wood. No, don't run off, Pinocchio.
No more! No more! I'm done! What more can I say about any of this?
Before Geppetto could stop him, naughty Pinocchio ran out through the door and off down the street. But soon he started feeling guilty, and like a good son, came back home.
Wait, how does that make him a good son exactly? The little fucker steals a wig, probably killed the cat, and then ran away into a blizzard and only came home because he felt guilty. And if judging the narration at the beginning is anything to go by, it seems as though this film is obsessed with teaching the kids watching a lesson, so don't tell us that's perfectly okay, because it isn't.
And he promised to stop being naughty and go to school. He was such a good puppet.
Hang on! Wait a second! I would know that dirty, creepy, over-approving of child behaviour voice from anywhere.
They were such good boys, weren't they?
Yes, the narrator is the same man behind Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys, but in Pinocchio, he's actually been upgraded from mere storyteller into every single character in the whole animation. Not kidding, even the Blue Fairy later on is voiced by him. But we haven't even got there yet, hold your horses. Anyway, Geppetto thinks that now is a good idea to send the little shit off to school, which could be depressing political undertones in a future where we're all born and immediately sent off to a regimented education system, and Pinocchio nearly gets to school, but as luck would have it, the theatre is in town, and after some more brilliant voice acting...
Oh, lovely theatre music. But I must go to school.
Pinocchio trades a spelling book that Geppetto sold his only coat to get for a ticket to this show. Any chances of me relating or wanting this gallbladder to succeed are now gone.
Then the play began.
And this guy was very happy to see Pinocchio walk in. The marionette show begins, and for whatever reason, the other puppets on stage actually fucking recognise Pinocchio despite the fact he was only built yesterday.
It's our Pinocchio. Hello, brother.
What is it with this guy and making every other word extra long?
Anyway, after all this distraction from the actual play, the head of the show gets angry with the puppets and heads for the stage himself.
The director appeared in the theatre. He was so huge and fierce.
Why would you say that and then cut to that huge fucking bulge?
What's wrong with you, game? I mean, he's either really turned on or he's shat his pants, but regardless, it's wrong, 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 wrong.
Take pity on me, Excellency. What will happen to my daddy? Mercy. Then, suddenly, something absolutely incredible happened.
Yes, great! The animator suffered a fatal heart attack!
I wish. No, instead the guy actually feels sorry for this waste of space and gives him money to give to Geppetto, when all of a sudden something stops him on the way home.
Yes, 3 nasty criminals. Oh, silly puppet.
That's only 2! There's 2!
Where are you going?
There's 1,
puppet?
2, There's only 2!
Where are you going?
Hopefully back to the animation studio so we can make your fucking eye move, you dopey brain-dead twat that can't count to fucking 2!
My god, don't worry everybody, believe it or not, we're nearly there. But first we need to just see these 3 nasty criminals steal Pinocchio's money, hang him on a tree, and then the best character in the story, the blue-haired fairy, rescues him.
And if you thought the narrator's voice acting was bad now, you ain't seen shit yet.
Oh, how on earth did you find yourself on that tree?
My lord.
This poor fucking bastard was pushed into a recording booth with no voice acting talent or prior experience and asked to do a non-insulting and convincing elegant adult fairy akin to Disney's example, and he comes out with this.
How on earth did you find yourself on that tree?
I've got no words, and the best thing is that that's the only line the fairy has, aside from when she sees Pinocchio's suggestive nose growing and comes everywhere.
Why did they animate this in?
It also doesn't help that Pinocchio's butcher knife nose is actually really deadly whenever he decides to lie. I mean, look at the tip, it would take your fucking eye out. And so the fairy, like every other fucking idiot in this story, takes pity on this pathetic, wretched little scab and helps him out, not teaching him a single thing about not being terrible or the kids that are watching, and then we get the ending.
Yeah, the ending. When I said earlier that we were nearly at the end, I wasn't kidding. The island where kids turn into donkeys, the giant fish that eats Geppetto while he's searching for a missing Pinocchio, both of them escaping the fish and making it home, Pinocchio turning into a real boy. That is all, and I mean all, summed up in one of the worst excuses for a song I've ever heard in my life. And I'm not joking about that. Usually, I would pick this shit apart and talk about everything that's wrong with it, but I really don't think I need to. I'm just gonna show it you. And I'm gonna react to it, and I'm gonna cry.
I'll be good, I promise. I'll go straight to school.
Wait, who's that?
Maybe I will go and play. I will go with you.
You'll go with who?
Oh, now I'm turning donkey.
When? Why?
Take it easy every day. No hard work, that's the way. Now I see a sharky.
How?
My
Is a
daddy
shark?
sent me
How?
Pinocchio.
Wait, is the thing dead now? How are they just walking out of its... How can he carry
Stop
Japan? How can he
being a
swim?
naughty puppet toy. Daddy could be talking to a post. I'll always be a puppet. Puppets just the most.
So why the fuck are you a real boy then if puppets are the most?
Okay, girls and boys.
So kids, any questions on the story of Pinocchio? Yes? Good! Now fuck off and I'll see you next week!
And here we are back in the room where sleeping children dream of stories from dreamland.
Somebody actually wrote that.
All around the world, children get up from their beds. Some will be good and do the right thing, while others will become naughty, silly puppets like Pinocchio. Which one is you? What will you decide?
Wait, was this the point of the cartoon all along? To show kids what happens if you wake up one day and be a shit and tell them to be good instead? But we had a happy ending in this story even though Pinocchio was a shit from the very beginning. He was terrible from the second he got his wooden dick chipped off and Geppetto ate it!
Okay, so, as far as Pheonix games go, this is easily the worst I've seen so far in terms of effort and quality. No fucks were given while they made this, but you know what? It's so bad it's great, and it makes it much more entertaining than the other ones I've seen before. So, I actually recommend it. Seriously. Get some friends together, get drunk, and have a riot. Rest assured though, it's still a huge pile of bugger that deserves nothing but the slaughter, so that's something at least, but I haven't got a physical copy, unlucky me, to actually slaughter, so maybe someone over there has it. Yeah, let's try it.
About to watch fucking Pinocchio by Pheonix Games.
And until next time, if it's your birthday today watching this video, happy friggin' birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful.
Okay, girls and boys.
Pheonix Games have returned. You bastard!
Word of advice, don't ever polish your weapons, because you'll never know when you'll hear bad news and accidentally fall on them. And this is some pretty bloody bad news we're dealing with today, everybody, because today we have yet another PS2 game from Pheonix Games to add to their flawless repertoire. And I'm not joking when I say this is the worst one I've seen so far, and I know I say that with every single new one that I see, but Come on, look at this!
Why did the referee blow his whistle?
If you're a Caddicarus veteran, not that you'd want to be, you already know about Pheonix games. I've been covering them for years, ever since Dalmatians 3 over 4 years ago, and they're responsible for some of the highest viewed videos on my channel. Since then, I've taken many looks at other desperate Disney dodgies from them, like Peter Pan, Pinocchio, and one of my personal favourites, Snow White and the 7 Clever Boys. Essentially, the games themselves are exactly the same thing. They're all badly coded and pissingly programmed puzzle compilations. Jigsaws, slide puzzles, matching tiles, you know, real bottom-of-the-barrel stuff. And yes, they are always the same on every Pheonix game, with the only thing making each entry stand out being a terrible cartoon based on the titular characters on the front of the box. Sometimes. I'm not joking, they bastardize classic Disney characters for their box art, even steal concept art from other games onto their box art, and even after that, can't be asked to go through the effort of using their own abominations in their own films. That's the level of uselessness we're dealing with here. That, and I swear to God, they just use one person to voice over absolutely every single character.
Take pity on me, Excellency. What will happen to my daddy? How on earth did you find yourself on that tree?
These games were licensed by Sony, sold on the shelves, and the films on the game discs themselves could be as short as 6 minutes long. Sometimes Pheonix games couldn't even be buggered to get their own original films on the discs, and so outsourced some of the movie making to another company known as Dingo Pictures. So where many Pheonix games look like this,
First, there was Cubby, who was like a small bear.
Dingo Pictures movies look like this.
Yeah.
Where we're going, there is no God. Because Dingo Pictures made the film that we are watching. I still stand by what I said earlier, Animal Soccer World is easily the worst Pheonix Games production I've ever seen, and just like the mythical bird itself, no matter how many times I slaughter it, it seems to keep rising back from the ashes. In case you weren't sure, Animal Soccer World is based off of that one scene in Bedknobs and Broomsticks where animals play soccer, you dumbass. And one must ask how on earth you drag that on to a 30-minute cutscene with a beginning, middle, and end, but I suppose we're going to find that out, aren't we?
What's that got to do with my knob?
The film starts with the greatest walking theme I've ever heard in my life. Christ's sake, it's not even in time! By the way, if you've seen my Dalmatians 3 video, yes, that is the exact same dog from Dalmatians 3. In fact, all the same characters from Dalmatians 3 appear in this game, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Long time no see.
¿Qué?
Long time no see.
What?
Long time no see.
Oh, it's Sonic.
Long time no. What are you doing today?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know yet either. I don't even know who you are.
We can visit some friends.
Okay, wait a second here. You go to see your friend who you said yourself you haven't seen for a long time, don't address him by his own name, and then order him around by forcing him to accompany you to seeing other friends? We're 20 seconds into this film and I already hate the main character. That has to be a world record. Gotta say though, I really do love that walking theme. In fact, it's so good it even butts in and interrupts the rest of the music. But will it be as good as the hardcore running music in Dalmatians 3? Let's get one thing straight. Nothing will ever be as great as that. Okay, so back on track. Our main character is an abusive dictator. Simba here is just rolling over and taking it, so off we go. Are we not going to address that? Oh, Mufasa and Narabi are there now? And then they're gone? We're not going to talk about any of this? So these two are off to see their friend Harry, apparently, and off they set from the jungle to do so and end up inside a Greek village. Hold the phone, where did the jungle go? And who the hell are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, did you see it? Of course you didn't see it, because you can only hear me.
Then why did you ask? We're only about a minute into this masterpiece and already I'm completely lost. At least in other Pheonix games, they had easier to follow plots and characters despite me not understanding a single word half of them said most of the time.
I don't want to hear every word.
But Animal Soccer World? I mean, he's Harry, but I don't know who these two are. I don't know who these two are or why they appeared on screen for less than 3 seconds, and there's no excuses here. This is a PS2 game that came out in 2005, next to the original God of War, and 2 years after Dalmatians 3 changed the industry. Are we also going to completely ignore the fact that Harry is a 6-foot-tall street flasher? Anyway, as it turns out, Harry is actually pretending that something is going on so that he can report and commentate on it because there's nothing going on, hence all of his ramblings. But this is only a guess from me here, since I can barely understand a single conversation going on. As you can hear, the voice acting is so out of this world dreadful, but when you stitch it back to back with other characters trying to have a conversation, it sounds like someone having a stroke.
But what is supposed to happen?
Something that even scares the dog.
Excuse me?
I wasn't talking about you.
I didn't edit or cut down any of that. In including the overlapping lines on the wrong characters moving the wrong lips. It really is that bad.
I see. That is hard.
The whole overlapping lines and wrong character lip syncing bullshit is something the film keeps up terrifically from the start to the end, like a demented art project. But would you believe it even has scenes of the complete opposite effect right next to them? Because as soon as Winnie the Turd over here comes out, he's given far too much screen time for a tiny line.
Can I sell my candy somewhere?
Like, who is in charge of the edits here? Somebody had to watch this back and think, this is shit, and then cut it down so that all the lines could at least fit. This is a disgrace. Even Dalmatians 3 wasn't this bad. And what's even better is that right after that abrasive silence, it goes back to the way too fast overlapping normal cuts again.
There is no party. Oh. It's driving me crazy.
But nothing. I repeat, nothing, not a single thing on God's green, repugnant earth can prepare you for what is about to happen in a second. This transcends any kind of awful I've ever seen in a game cutscene, a TV show, a YouTube video, a film, anything. It's that bad. I haven't got anything else to say. Commence. Now you tell me. What the holy mother of crack was that about?
Back on track though, that thing just arrived for some reason, and why was that? Oh right, there was some pretty nasty fight going on in the middle of the street. That's why we had the and so the emergency duck appears to calm the situation down.
We really have to fight? Why can't you be nice to each other?
Well, the duck calms the situation down without waking their parents in the next room anyway.
Why were these two fighting though? Well, as it turns out, this dog who lives in the jungle next door to the Greek village found a red ball. This panther wanted to play with it, but the dog wouldn't let him. I tell you, this argument gets a little bit too PG-13 for my taste.
That's not true. You're just mad because I can shoot the ball further.
No, you can't.
I can.
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
So instead of fighting, the animals all get together and decide to arrange a soccer game to sort out the argument. Ah, okay. Because that's apparently how all disputes are settled in the animal kingdom. And the panther is so happy about the situation, his neck vibrates, while the dog is so happy his legs collapse in on themselves.
Don't you also need nurses in such a game?
Hey there, do you mind at all if you speak up just a tiny bit because...
Jacob will never let me play for the jungle king.
Speak up! This isn't a quiet place, it's Animal Bloody Soccer World! So after all of that, we then follow on to Harry the 6-foot flasher taking photocopies. I'm assuming of his privates. No, of course he isn't. He's getting ready for the big soccer match, of course, which Puss in Boots here hears about and tries to get the inside scoop.
First of all, I have to hand out all these flyers, and I have no clue how to do all that.
Then why did you arrange a bloody soccer match, you dunce?
All of a sudden, these birds then arrive with soggy old socks for their beaks and say that they will commentate for one team, the Jungle Kings, while Harry will commentate for the other team, the Wild Dogs, which is apparently so funny that the head of one of the birds starts to do itself in the neck hole. And then just when you were thinking,
oh Christ almighty, I can't handle any more birds,
another bird then comes in and offers to spread the flyers around, which he does a pretty miserable job at since he's dropping them all in the same place. And then he flies all the way to the barnyard, next door to the jungle, next door to the Greek village, and the pigs here get so excited with the news of a soccer match,
in 2 weeks there is a soccer championships,
that the chicken grabs a saxophone and the dog starts drumming the intro to a Rick Astley song. This is seriously the laziest slop I have seen from Pheonix Games / Dingo Pictures yet. I mean, reusing the same characters is bad enough, we've already discussed that, but in this whole part where the rest of the Wild Dogs team is being recruited, I'm convinced they just straight up copied the entire scenes, backgrounds and character placements from Dalmatians 3. And if not, they're scarily similar. That's a new one, I'll give them that. And at least the mold is broken a little bit in this scene where we move on from the vibrating head laughing to this instead. So then we cut to the Wild Dogs team who are deciding who is going to do what in the match.
You look a little bit small, but you're fast, and you can run between the legs.
What can I be?
Nothing, Grummel. You are way too small.
This goes on for much too long, after which they all head out for the shooting practice, and this guy thinks he's playing basketball, so that's a very good start.
I always have to do everything, just because they're bigger than me.
Did Tommy Wiseau voice that thing?
I want to give her a second chance. After all, she's my future wife.
And no less than nearly 10 minutes into this 30-minute film about soccer, we finally have the first football kick, which is followed by this. This dog is then sent away to find a better goalkeeper, and luckily we find one, but for some reason someone added a bouncing ball on top of the dialogue here, and I'm about to give up on my life.
Goalkeeper? Why a goalkeeper?
Okay, we're done here. Time to move on to...
No!
Well, would you look at that? Mufasa has moved on from the jungle and now lives in a lovely holiday villa on the Spanish coast, and he's going to train the Jungle Kings. He decides to make the panther guy over here the captain, which he finds very exciting. And at this point, the voice actors, or voice actor, gets so lost to the point that he even asks the same question twice right after he asks the first question.
With soccer, can you also play with your head? Can you also use your head with soccer?
No time to focus on that now though, because the elephant has been named the goalkeeper, which seems horrifically unfair to me, but whatever.
I will be the goalkeeper. I'll stop all the balls.
Yep, I'm sure you will. And I bet you've had a lot of practice with that trunk.
Hey, Samson.
Wait, what?
Hey, Samson.
Is the bear's name Samsung?
Hey, Samson.
And I mean, this isn't even me talking about the other classic Dingo Pictures staples that are present in all their other films. There are bootleg Disney characters seeping out of every crevice. Not only does the dialogue constantly overlap, but so does the music. And how about this for missed potential? Puss in Boots is in this film, and he doesn't ever play football, and he's wearing boots. So anyway, Simba, and I know he has a different name, but Jesus Christ, he might as well be called Simba, steals the football away from the Jungle Kings and plays with it while his tail spins in an impossible full circle.
He's just learning. You have to explain it to him gently.
Oh, well, how understanding. What a lovely father he is.
And now give me that ball right away.
I'm going to take that back.
But the good thing is that this is totally made up with perhaps the most epic wind-up to a kick in video game history.
Do you think I added that music in? Because I didn't, that's in the game.
But the real question is though, can the elephant catch the ball with his loose-skinned and overworked trunk? Yep, it appears he can. Then Mr. Crocodile over here has a very important point to bring up.
How can we score goals when he stops all the shots? Right? Right?
No.
And then Mufasa comes back to give us more advice, which... Wait, hang on. Where did Sarabi go? She popped in at the very start of the game for about 2 seconds next to Mufasa and then never came back. Why was she there? Well, where is she now? Did Mufasa eat her? With a face like that, it wouldn't surprise me. And so the awful mutt heads off to get uniforms in the most logical way this film can muster. You know,
in the middle of the street with a goat who is also a tailor.
Little bit of red.
And he also sounds like that.
Can you make juice for us?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Can you make juice for us?
Excuse me?
Can you make juice for us?
Just say that one more time for me, please.
Can you make juice for us?
Oh!
You know, I make everything. Well, it's like this.
Okay, I think I need to explain something here. You know film, when cartoons do that, it's because the characters are having an enclosed and secretive conversation that no one else around them is supposed to hear. You can't just do that in the middle of an open street with 2 characters on each end of the bloody road because one character is only going to be able to hear. My God! And you know what? Finally, 17 minutes and 20 seconds into this Oscar-winning epic, we finally have the titular soccer match that the whole film is about! Oh my God! Hi there, Bambi! Nice to see you can make it! How's your mum doing?
I thought we were for the Jungle Kings!
And now there's a rebel biker duck gang!
You guys are going into Area S.
Okay, don't think I really want to go there.
If you're making one wrong move, I will eat you.
Well, Jesus, I guess we have no choice. And after everyone starts getting angry with the lack of a soccer match in a film about soccer, 18.5 minutes into the film...
Start the game! Start the game! Start the game!
We then see 2 pregnant monkeys pooing on the floor, and then we're finally ready for...
the soccer game of the year!
The sucker game of the year. How appropriate. Although, I think... we all really know, deep down, who's going to win that one.
After this point, we have a musical number. Oh yes, a musical number. And these have always gone perfectly in other Pheonix games, so consider me hyped.
Wake Pinocchio, wake up. It's time to tell your story.
And the thing is, I would make some jokes about this whole segment, but I don't need to. As you're going to be able to see in a second, the jokes write themselves. Like, there's nothing I can say to make it any weirder than it is. I don't even know if this bit coming up is in English, I gotta be honest with you. So yeah, I'm just gonna let you enjoy all of it in its entirety, just like I had to. I dare you not to leave the video.
Hier zijn we met z'n allen, we hebben een fijne tijd. We gaan een beetje ballen, het wordt een mooie strijd. Geen geklaag, gemoppen, we maken alleen maar jol. Dit wordt een echte topper, wie maakt de eerste goal? Honden, leeuwen, katten, olifanten, mier. Gaan op het gras wat matten en maken veel plezier. En als er straks het fluitje klinkt, doen alle dieren mee. Niemand maakt meer ruzie, iedereen is weer tevreden.
And I don't have anything to say here either.
1, 2, 3. We are the biggest cheerleader. Yo.
Okay. In all seriousness though, I don't think I can add anything remotely productive from this point onwards. I mean, a few interesting things happen, like nobody actually playing soccer most of the time, and the referee is actually friends with one of the teams, which I'm sure is slightly scandalous, but as far as anything else goes, I'm completely out of words to explain anything that we are all looking at. So instead, now what you're going to see is a little montage that I cooked up of all of the weirdest, most screwed up, most uncomfortable, most awkward moments of the entire soccer match, because there's too many moments to count. There's too many things I can say, and the film does all the saying for me. It's all condensed right here, and it's ready for your scrutiny, so please enjoy.
The referee blows his whistle, and...
Over the line, over the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, Custer has the ball, and yes, Custer passed it out to goal. What an excitement! Did I see that right? Yes, indeed. Here he comes, he shoots it in his hole.
Ow, 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 ow.
Faster, Charlie, it's gotta be a goal, yes, no. The halftime is coming to an end.
Get your nice colored balloons.
He's gonna shoot now.
And after all of this, the game chickens out and the match ends at 1-1. Cop out! So then Mufasa returns and calls for a rematch while sounding too much like that voice in the original Street Fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, because there was no winner in this soccer match,
you've got a lot to run before you beat me.
And the story ends with the dog and Simba from the very beginning saying that
it was a great game, Jovi. Yeah, it was beautiful. Now we can be friends again.
When weren't they friends? And when do you think this next match will take place? Get a load of this.
Yes, but we still have 6 long weeks.
You live in the jungle! Why does any of this take 6 weeks to prepare? What else have you got to do in all that time? Decide which front of the litter gets made into supper? So in conclusion, what the hell was any of that? I don't know, and I don't think I ever will know. I'm going to put a pinned comment below this video, and you can all reply to it. You can tell me what the hell any of that was, because I'm sure that one of you out there is supposed to know, and you can help fill my life with a little bit more clarity. Subscribe. Where we're going, there's no God. Okay, film. He makes this unfilmable. Oh, half of the stuff we film we can't use because of that bloody stupid dog.
Evie! There she is.
Peekaboo! There are going to be outtakes on in a second, so please stay tuned for that, but I have to... Ow. What? Other end of the road when only one other... On the other end of the road when other... On the other end of the road when only... On the other end of the road when only... I don't even remember the line now.